So yeah, I was telling you like something is called tuple. Like if you write something, a list of values here, okay, like one, two, three. Eventually, you can mix some different data type, okay. Then in a square bracket, when you write, this is called list. We have something similar that is called tuple, but we will be using mainly list, okay. Tuple we also will learn. Same thing you can do through tuple. Just only difference is that we have to keep in the square this round bracket. Yeah, the one like when we call it mutable. Mutable means we can change the value of list. Suppose that it is immutable. This is mutable. Mutable means we can change the value of a list. But immutable means we cannot change the value of a list of a tuple. So likewise, we have like we'll come to know a string. When you create some string, suppose that similarly, I create some string like str1 equal to okay, test a string. So when we create a string, this is also immutable. It means what? Internally, a string is also kind of internally looks like a string, but it's not. So due to that, we cannot change this one. And suppose that if you want to accessing an element of a list, tuple, or and a string. Actually, this part we have seen earlier. If I'll write something like that, list to 1, 0. It means what? It will give the first element of the list. Okay. Likewise, you can do, here I have created tuple. Similarly, I can create a str1. So here I'll just change this a string tuple. I didn't put any element here. So you can see this. When I write 0 means it is giving me first element of the list. Here it is giving first element of the tuple, and here it is giving first character of the string. Likewise, if I want to access, suppose that fourth element, this is the fourth element, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can say that in all these data type, indexing starts at 0. It means if I write index at 4 or index at 3, that will be the fourth element. So fourth element. So if I write something like this, 3, see here, this is the fourth element, right? So we can put, We don't have enough element here. So you can check here. So here fourth element is the Ravi. Here is the fourth element is 4. And here fourth element is T. So this is where we access the element. Okay. So actually, if you know a bit C, so what happens in C language, we have something called array. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Array, and another thing is called linked list. But here in Python, array we can create, but that will be using NumPy array, and it has different kind of working phenomena compared to the what we learn in the C. And what we see in the list, linked list in C, that become the list here. So you can say list is dynamic data type. What is dynamic data type?
It changes its values.
Yeah. So you can, like, this is another way of saying mutable. Okay. You can change the element after creation or initialization. So similarly, it happens in the C language also. Like we have to create a list, and then you can, at a runtime, you want to determine how many memory you want to create, how many element you want to keep. All those things, once you create, then you decide, and you can modify, keep on modifying. Okay. So
So
here,
can we do backward indexing as
yeah,
well?
yeah, yes,
Or-
yes,
Oh.
yeah. So yeah, Janya, tell me.
So what's dynamic data type?
Yeah. So dynamic data types, we have two kind of data type. One is a static data type. Another is dynamic data type. So generally in Python, most of the data type are dynamic. Python has mainly dynamic data type. Okay. A static data type, mainly C, C++, Java, these languages. These three languages you can say, Java has, yeah, these languages, these three languages, even more support a static data type as well as dynamic data type. What is dynamic data type? In Let me define it first. At first, what is static data type? In a static data type, we need to tell compiler the type of values to be going go, to be stored, going to be stored. Values stored in a variable while creation of the variable. Okay, it is then dynamic data type, just opposite of this. Compiler can, or you can say compiler or can determine the type of data type of a variable when it sees kind of value stored into that variable. So I told you this, I'll repeat now what I wrote. Actually, in Python, what happens? You write x equal to 5. Yep, 5, okay? So what happens? when it will run, based on the value, it will automatically understand X is integer type here. X is an integer variable, right? X is an integer variable. But after some time, I can put on X some string, okay? So here the type of variable is changed to a string variable. So whenever you are assigning some values based on the kind of values, it is deciding the type of what kind of value this variable can store. So we don't have to tell in advance which kind of value we are going to store. But if you go to C language or some other language where we have a static data type, you have to tell it to the compiler in advance in something like this, int is X. Okay, a string we create something like this there a string like, or you can say some variable one, something like this we write in the C language. So we have this until we tell the which kind of value we are uh, like in advance we need to tell which kind of value we are going to store on these variable. That is indicated by these keywords. When we write care star, it means we can store a string here, but that happens in C and C++. So we don't have this static data type in Python. Did you get, Janya?
Yes, sir.
What did you get?
That for if it's a dynamic data type, we don't have to mention the type of.
Yeah. See, when we have created first time this variable, we have to tell the its which data type it belongs to. It is something like once you take birth and I give you some name. I give you some citizenship. Until I give you citizenship, your citizenship will be unknown, right?
Mm.
It is something like when I created a variable, I need to give its data type. But
Yes.
in this, what happens? Whatever value you keep, you are having independent. You don't need any visa. Whichever country you take, you born, just you have citizenship of that country. When you again switch to other country, your data type, your citizenship will change. So it's a dynamic kind of thing, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, Randeep, are you good? No question from you yet.
No, sir. Clear.
Okay, so now we will covering this one, backward indexing. Okay, so what happens? You know this. Suppose that we have created one list here, list equal to 1, comma 5.2, 96, comma face, comma Python 8.6, right? So this a list will be created like this. It will have some memory block and its value will be this, another memory block, some value, third memory block, some value, like that. We have as many element that many memory block, and in that we have some values. Okay. So I have told you when we write 0 means we are accessing the first element, 1 means second element, 2 means third element, 3 means fourth element, 4 means fifth element, 5 means sixth element, likewise, okay? So another interesting feature which is called backward indexing, we can access from this way to that way also, like right to left. That is called backward indexing. And that we do through negative values. So that is available in Python only, okay? So if you write -1, it means you are going to access this values. -2 means this value. -3 means this value. So let's do that. Suppose that I have to access fourth element from right side. Then I have to write -4 here. -4, -4, -4. See here. So See fourth element from right side. Fourth element is this one, 1, 1, and capital T. Actually, we have changed meanwhile somewhere it seems. str. Oh, here. Okay, sorry. Fourth element is here. R, the small r. Yeah. Okay. We can do something more here. Okay, that is called slicing. Slicing of list, tuple, or a string. What is slicing? You learned this forward indexing. You have learned backward indexing. Suppose that I want to know from 0 to 3 what elements are there. 0 to 3. I don't want to see all. If you want to see the all, just give the variable name. Let me see. I'll show you before that. Parenting. Yeah, go ahead.
So you mentioned Python has backward indexing, right?
Yeah.
So when the user is giving input, we don't know how many elements there are in the list, so we can't set a set
Hmm.
number for the negative number.
Right. You're right.
So
Yes.
for that, do we take negative infinity?
No, we cannot.
No.
We have to know. We have to know how many elements are there. Accordingly, we can do either backward indexing or forward indexing. So we have seen the example, right? One right just now. When I have created some empty tuple or empty list, suppose that I will create one empty list. Let me create here empty list, okay? So there is two way to create empty list. Yeah, tell me.
No, nothing. Continue, sir.
List one equal to, this is one way.
So we do it by length function, right?
No,
The
telling
one
I'm
running
telling
lines.
empty list. Oh
Okay.
yeah, yes, you're right.
Yes, sir.
No, like yeah, he has it minus infinity, so that before for that I'm trying to come this. I wanted to bring this.
Okay, sir.
So if you want to create, we can create empty list using two methods, which you have seen here. Either you can write a variable name equal to a square bracket. So this is list without any element. This is another list which is not having any element. So for that we use, this is called some function. If you want to know how this function look like, if you are in notebook, go into this. You can see I'm inside this one, this bracket. Press shift tab. Shift tab, yeah, shift tab. So here it can show you it will open its documentation string. Means documentation is what I told you sometime, like you can achieve same thing using
Question mark.
question mark like this. See what you see there, same thing I can see you using this one. Shift tab. Actually, it's already open now, so it's not showing here. See here. Same thing you can see here. I can maximize this.
Can you show how it's going to pop up when you do the question mark thing?
See here. So like it will tell you some like how what this function is. So it is telling its signature. It is some internally iterable is there. Through this we consider the different elements. And this is actually a class. List is a class, and this okay, this is the type, and it is a subclass. Its subclasses are like hash sequence, stack summary, all these different kind of classes are there. Based on that, we have some other derived data type. Okay. List is a primitive data type. Primitive data type means system defined, like using that we can define some other things. Eventually, list is a primitive data type which can have other data type inside its elements as elements. And from that, we can create multiple other data type. that is called subclasses, which we don't have to need to learn now. Okay, so what I was telling you, what was this? List is a, you can say it is a kind of um, data type creation using some this representation. You can say actually it is a object of list class, but forget about that. Just you remember, if you write something like this list, then you are creating an empty list. Okay. Now, if I have created one empty list and I will say that give me the what is lying on the index 1 or index
Sir,
0.
sir, does the thing just pop up? Does the explanation of the function just pop up when you do
Yeah,
the question mark, or do you click on it?
I can do either one.
Okay.
Shift tab I did, and then you can max plus I did like this another one. You'll
Okay.
get the same thing, or you can do question mark.
Okay.
So what you see here, like I have created some empty list and I want to access first element of the list. So I want to print list 1 of 0. So it will give error. Why? List index out of range. Why? We don't have any element. Same thing if I'll do here for list 2, it will also give the same error, list index out of range. Why? Because we don't have any element there. Okay. Accessing an empty list yields error, index error. Okay. So now you said you want to put some minus infinitive, that will not work. Okay. Because as many element you have, you need to know that many numbers up to that -1 number you can put here. And what she said, Pranavi said, that's great actually. Suppose that I know some list is created, okay? And whatever indexing I'm telling you in the list, those are applicable in tuple and a string, all this thing also. Not this one, but most of the thing what we are learning that will be applicable like this you can do same thing you can see here, right? So here suppose that I will do like this list 1. I know I have some list 1 which is empty here, so let me create some other. Mm, I'll take this one again. I have created some list 1, it has 4 elements, and I want to access this element from right side. Then we can do minus this one. See,
So we're going to, in this case, when we're doing it in the loop, we're going to define I as I equal to I plus 1. And then we're going to add len plus 1. Is that how you're going to do it?
you want to add element by element to this list that you are telling.
Yeah, element by element, but backwards. Not add
Backward, no, for
exactly.
backward we have some other method. You cannot add backward like that.
No, no, not adding in the sense like actually adding, but printing, and not printing all,
Hmm.
printing a set elements from the back.
Yeah, printing you can do, like you can do printing, suppose that like this, print, then, so we have to go in the reverse direction, right?
No, sir, my question is,
Mm-hmm.
so if there, so let's say a list has 1, 2, and 3, and 4,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to print 3,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't know how many elements are in the list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you print it?
You don't know how many elements are there, right?
You don't know how many elements are in the list. The user is giving input. You want to
Okay.
print it, and the user also can choose which number from the back to print.
See, if you know the index, then fine. If you don't know the index, then you have to run the loop and you can check through condition at if you have that element in there, the list or not.
No, element as in like, so negative, so 3 is the, like the second last element. So you would do len minus len plus 1.
Yeah, that way also you can do.
Yeah, minus len plus 1 or len minus 2. Okay, yeah, either way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
minus.
this is fine, but because we know how many elements there are.
Yeah, but
But
we
because
can
that
always get the how many elements are there using this.
length
Yeah.
and the user input will be right there. Okay, so we have to ask the user for an integer input, and then in the place of -2, we write the variable. Is that it?
Okay. Okay. At what index you want that user input you want? That you are telling?
Somewhat.
Index equal to integer input enter index. I'll give 4. This you are telling? So I got the index equal to 4, and then I want to check
No,
what
no,
is
put that back again, sir. Put that back once. No, like the previous one. Command Z, Control Z.
this one. It is already here.
Okay, so in the place of -2, do you just put index now in place of 2? No,
That's
no,
what
only 2. No, no, not there. No, sir. No, in the place of -2, on the right side of minus,
Mhm.
delete 2 and put index. Yeah, yeah.
So what is happening here? We have 4 element. So len 4, this will give 4. Index is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So list of 0 it is giving.
Okay, so it works like that. It's not working the way I suspected. Okay.
Are you asking like what was your question again, Randy?
That's fine. Let's move on.
Yeah, like as per my understanding, he's asking if you don't know the index of this element, and then if you specify the index, then what will happen? Something like that.
Now, if I
Is
can screen share, I can ask better, but
okay, no issue. Let's keep write the question somewhere and then take up that one
okay.
because we have only 3 minutes left here, so we have to. Somebody can send the Zoom link. Okay, meanwhile.
Sir, I
Yeah.
will try to do that.
Yeah. So here are some more examples you can look at, but before that I was talking some slicing. Let's see, we'll come to the slicing in the next recording. Okay, then. Please send. You have 3 minutes then. Quickly, I'll cover this cell, okay? So here you can see some more examples. This is creation of the empty list. If you print empty list, you'll get something like this. If you print the length of empty list, you'll get 0. You have some element. If you want to print all the elements, just write print and list name. It will give you all the elements. We know that we can, in the list, we can store mixed type of data, means integer, float, a string, whatever you want. You can print even list within list also we can do. So this is what it is telling, and that you can also, we are printing here. And what I said, you nested list just now here, same thing here. This is one list, and inside also we can put some another list here, see. So this is one list. Inside also we have two lists here, a small list here. Okay, so this is called nested list, and we are printing again here. We can create list of a string, so we are creating only a string values we are storing, and we are printing again here. Again, it is mixing of the values and printing. So these are the different formats of list. Okay, we'll access again. I will move forward. You send the invite. I'll just stop sharing.
Uh, yes, sir. I'm like trying to. Sir, do you know where to like find the link?